Hey everybody, how are you? Happy Labor Day. Dr. Stephanie Stroud here with Cornerstone's Pet Tip of the Week. I don't know about you guys, but Labor Day and fall times, I always tend to grill a little bit more. I tend to have fire pits a little bit more, so I just wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys about some of the dangers and things you need to watch out for your pet. And in particular, I'm going to have two things I'm talking about. And so the first thing I want to talk about today is in regards to the actual fire pit or grilling that you guys are doing. And so one of the things, especially with fire pits that we tend to use matches and we tend to use lighter fluid. So when we think about our pets, those are things that we need to consider is toxicity with them. Toxicity is some of the biggest things I see emergencies for. And so it's really important for you guys to be aware of some of that. Even though it seems really strange to us that our pets would end up eating lighter fluid or matches, the truth is it happens sometimes. And so you guys need to be really cautious about as you're building fire pits come this fall, as you are maybe doing some of the grilling, pay attention to the matches and the lighter fluid. So lighter fluid, if it's ingested by a curious pet, can cause all kinds of damage to the GI system, so the gastrointestinal stomach, the intestines, and cause vomiting and diarrhea. It can even sometimes cause central nervous system depression, so you can end up with them kind of acting like they're drunk, or can even sometimes go into a coma if it gets toxic and can be deadly. So want to be really careful with the lighter fluid. Make sure we're keeping that up and out of their reach. That includes making sure you kind of lock it up in the garage. If you keep it in the garage, put it in a thing that locks and not just up on a shelf, because pets have been known to jump up on shelves and get into things. Same thing with matches. Matches, some of them contain chlorates, and chlorates can be very toxic to our pets, causing vomiting, diarrhea, and causing all kinds of belly aches. And so we want to make sure to keep our matches away from these guys as well. And so the first tip is, be really cautious and pay attention to how you guys are building your fire pits. Pay attention to what you're using to light the fire pits and so on. The second tip has to do along the lines of what we tend to like to grill or cook on the fire pits. And so I don't know how many of you guys like marshmallows and chocolate and those wonderful s'mores, but I love them. And so keep in mind as you guys are going into this fall and you guys are enjoying the wonderful autumn and the cooler weather as it continues to get cooler, is chocolate can be toxic to our pets. Same thing with grilling the different foods on the grills or on the fire pits. Remember that raisins or onions or garlic, those are all things that are toxic to our pets. And so being really mindful of the food that you're grilling and being really on guard to make sure your pets don't get into the food. It's so easy to get distracted when we are hanging out with our friends or our family, and all of a sudden Fido runs over there, gets something off the grill, off the fire pit, and he takes off with it. Okay, so we really want to be mindful of those. Even though marshmallows and hot dogs aren't necessarily toxic to our pets, if they are to get pieces or even just a little or a whole package, it can make our pets sick, okay? It can give them something called pancreatitis, which is inflammation of the pancreas. That is the digestive organ that breaks down foods, and it can cause pets to be very, very painful. It can sometimes be life-threatening if it gets inflamed enough, and so being mindful of the foods that you guys are eating. We all love hot dogs, we love brats, we love s'mores. I'm with you there. But just wanted to put some things in your guys' minds to remember as you're going into this fall. There are some things you really have to pay attention to. And I completely get that our pets, they're a beloved family member, but they can be ornery. And so be on the lookout. So again, first tip, make sure that you know where your chemicals are as far as starting that fire, your matches, your lighter fluid. Put it away in the house where your pets can't get into it, or put it in a locked cabinet in the garage where they can't jump on the shelf and ingest some of it. And the second tip is pay attention to the foods that you're cooking. Make sure that we're not giving hot dogs or marshmallows or those type of things that would normally cause pancreatitis to them. Also be aware of the toxic things that we can end up grilling with, which would be onions, garlic, raisins, those type of things. Even just the seasoning itself can be toxic to some pets if ingested in large enough amounts. So just some things to keep in mind. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Labor Day, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.